Hi fellow scientists, technology enthusiasts or curious minds. I'm Lux and welcome back to Horizons Lab. Today we're gonna take a look at how to keep your computer clean. I'm not talking about wiping the dust from the surface of the case. I think if you've got any sense of order and basic decency, you're already doing that. But today, I wanna show you how to properly clean your PC from the inside. I found out a lot of people are actually afraid to do that, which I completely understand. If you don't know anything about computers, even opening that case can be scary for you, let alone doing something inside. The good news is, it's actually much easier than you think, and you can do it all by yourself without any professional help at all. And if you're asking why it's so important and everyone should learn it, the inside of the case, your actual computer parts, is what's responsible for your system to function properly. So you wanna keep it clean because any kind of pollution can have negative impact on performance and in some cases damage the components. On top of that, for people like me, it's definitely not a pleasant experience when I open someone's PC and there's a whole new ecosystem inside of the CPU heatsink. It's disgusting. So today, I'm gonna show you how to prevent it and how to keep your PC clean and functional. So as always, first thing you wanna do is unplug your PC from the power and unplug all the cables because you definitely don't wanna do it inside. One little tip, if you're afraid that you won't remember where the cables go when you plug it back in, just take a picture and then use it as a reference. I used to do it as well when I was new to computers, there's no shame in that. Once you find yourself a clean and safe spot outside, it's time to get to work. You're pretty much gonna only need two things. Something to blow dust out, like an air duster or can of compressed air, and something to wipe the surfaces. I like using a pack of wet wipes. You can get both of these things in general store for a few bucks. Of course, it's always better to have some kind of a more expensive specialized gear, but if you don't, it's completely fine. It still gets the job done. Before you get to cleaning, there's a couple things you need to know. You definitely want to use something that blows the dust out, not suck it in. So make sure to avoid vacuum cleaners, because PC components have a lot of small or microscopic parts which can get sucked in or damaged. If you're using wet wipes, you want to avoid sensitive surfaces like exposed PCBs or boards. If they're really filthy, you can use a dry cloth instead. On the other hand, you should definitely use it for case, brackets, mounts, covers or fan blades. So first, we actually need to open the case, and this part is much easier than it appears to be. Most of the case manufacturers are actually making it very simple. As you can see, you don't even need any tools. We can just slide out the side panels and top cover from the brackets to get it open. Some cases do actually have screws, but these are usually thumb screws. That means you can get them open without a screwdriver using only your hand. It's usually common on older or cheaper models like this one you see right now. You should be always able to look up a manual on the internet for your specific case, unless you've got some weird black market ripoff. So first, let's wipe all the open and big areas inside of the case. The frame, the brackets, and then some of the covers of the components, like your CPU heatsink, GPU. At this point it really comes down to your specific case. Simply said, if you think something's dirty, clean it. Although one thing I would definitely suggest, pay a special attention to corners and gaps. As you can see in the footage, that's where a lot of dust gets piled up. When you're done with the surfaces, it's time for an air duster. Most of the standard ones look exactly like this one. You gotta open it, take out the plastic cover, and put on the little extension tube. I mean, it's still usable without it, but it's much better to have it on. And now, you just pretty much backtrack and blow out everything you've already cleaned, just to make sure there's no dust left. And then, you can also blow out some parts you can't easily clean up with the cloth. The inside of the CPU heatsink, for example, all kinds of gaps and brackets. You can also blow out slots for cables, especially if you're a genius like me and forgot to install the IO shield on your motherboard 4 years ago and you're still too lazy to fix that. Now, one thing you want to pay special attention to are the fans, because this is how most of the dust gets in, especially through the ones pulling air from the outside. So you definitely want to take some extra time to blow out all the fans, clean the blades, and clean the dust filters as well. One thing you can easily forget, and I gotta admit, it happens to me as well sometimes, is the backside of the case. There are some key components here, such as your power supply, you definitely want to clean that one. And sometimes, you can even find a little surprise inside of your case. I've been looking for this screw for a while. Now when your PC is finally clean and shiny, it's time to put it back together. Now let me tell you, putting back the side panels tends to be much harder than taking them off. Especially here on this NZXT H9 floor case, you need to align it perfectly, and it usually takes me multiple attempts to get it right. Make sure to clean your panels before you put them back together, especially if you've got a glass one like I do. You want to keep them clean so your beautiful components can shine through. Once you put the side panels back on, your case is clean and ready to go. And let's be honest, it looks much better now, does it? Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope this video was at least a little bit helpful, and as always, if you've got any questions, we are always happy to help you. Have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next one.